You need to understand your mind. And I feel like this is something that isn't talked about as much, and I haven't seen many videos on YouTube. So a lot of people, they would promote the idea of improving yourself and taking different steps, different actions in order to achieve improvement. But they don't really go into the understanding of how your own mind works, because everyone is different. Now, there are two ways to basically begin your journey of understanding how your mind works. The first one is to become an academic. So that's basically in the title. You have to learn and educate yourself on how your mind works and just the brain in general. And the second thing you can do is become a practitioner in that area. So I fully believe it's no good just learning about something. You have to then apply it to your own life and get the experience in, because without reps, there'll be no results. Right, so I definitely have a fascination with how my mind works and just studying the brain in general, right? And basically what this has allowed me to do, it's through my study, through my constant learning of the different functions of the brain, maybe the different reactions the body will have, and then how the brain will respond in these situations, different situations in life, has then allowed me to monitor, observe, and basically improve my behavior in certain situations. Now, some people might need the science behind it. For me personally, I like to know what underpins it. So basically, what are the biological foundations upon which I'm working here? You know, some people have heightened responses to fear, heightened responses to stress, all these different things that we need to understand. Take me, for example. I've had anxiety, social anxiety throughout my whole life. And I would read the different ways to overcome it, and, exposure therapy, all these different things. But it only started to click for me when I started to delve into and understand the mechanics of social anxiety, understanding about the brain region of the amygdala and how that governs your fear, how it basically decides what emotions you're going to display, and then the influence of adrenaline or epinephrine, and how this then is activated in certain situations. And even for me, like, just learning that adrenaline can actually heighten your senses, and it's not completely debilitating. It's your body will produce the necessary neurotransmitter, the necessary chemicals at the right time. So what I started to understand here was then I knew that adrenaline gives me energy, and obviously during stressful situations, this is going to be pumped out a lot. We're going to have a lot of adrenaline in our body. And instead of thinking then this was a very negative thing, which can lead to, shaking, rapid heartbeat, I started to use that then for good. So understanding that anxiety and then feeling excitement are very, very similar. And if the foundations of them are very similar, then I can succeed in these situations. If you tend to overthink, like myself, then you need to start learning about the brain, learn about how the body reacts to different situations, learn about how the body adapts to different situations. All these things are going to be so beneficial for you. And I found the more I went down this rabbit hole of understanding the brain and really getting to grips with it, the more I became fascinated with it. So sometimes you'll have personal struggles, and then from the personal struggle, you can create an interest in something. It's like a domino effect, really, ripple effect. So start to educate yourself. Once you've educated yourself on something, apply it to your real life, apply it to real life situations. Test it out, because what works for someone else might work for you, and that's really important, because two different individuals aren't going to react the exact same way in the same situation. There might be different levels of serotonin release, different levels of dopamine release. All these things play a factor into it. So get to know your body, but the main thing is you have to put in the reps as well, and that's so important. You cannot just learn about it. And this is my biggest kind of gripe, or I feel a negative side of just over consumption of information, is you're consuming so much, so much now, but you don't actually use it, you don't apply it. So how do you know it actually works? How do you know it's going to work for you? You don't, so you need to apply that.